TIFU. I just lost my best friend. Today I fucked up. At the beginning of the pandemic, I made a new friend at work. We began to spend more and more time together at work. And then she asked me to start playing League with her. And then we began to talk more and more, spending on average 2 to 4 hours a day talking or playing games together. And then we started calling each other, just to talk. She watched me play through one of my favorite games. I watched her paint. She had a boyfriend. I recognized she was attractive. But I was happy to just be her friend. Then when Valentine's Day rolled around, she started to say strange things. Asking me to cook steak for her. Inviting herself onto my camping trip, which she couldn't make. And I started to feel confused about what it was she wanted. And what I wanted. Several months later, she began to express unhappiness in her relationship. I recommended she try to communicate with her boyfriend more to try and solve their issues. A month after that, she explained that another guy had entered her life and that she was confused as to what to do. I was unsure of giving advice due to my feelings, so tried to get her to figure out what she wanted by asking her questions about how she felt. She seemed unsatisfied with my advice. I felt guilty for hiding my feelings and my true thoughts, and asked her to meet me a week later, where I admitted my feelings and asked regarding the mixed signals she had been giving me. She claimed to not know what she was doing, that she felt guilty and apologized, and we both agreed to continue being friends. When I got home, she sent me a link to For the Nights I Can't Remember by Headley. Then she stopped talking to me altogether today, and has slowly begun to block me on social media. I feel gutted and lost. I feel disposable. I feel like I was used for emotional validation, and as soon as I could be replaced, I was. TLDR. I lost my best friend because I thought they had feelings for me too. And I am emotionally destroyed. Your post should start with, "Today, I dodged a bullet." Then she asked me to start playing League with her. This is the precise point it was going to start going south. It sounds like you didn't mess up. It sounds like you were a friend, and did what friends should. It sounds to me like she was trying to get you to like her. To me it almost sounds like she's trying to find the right guy to leave her boyfriend for. Be glad it wasn't you. I'm sorry that happened to you. You did the right thing. Don't think otherwise. You would have been miserable over the long run just being her friend. You were the other guy. Girl is confused and, believe me, this was about to become very complicated for you. Probably including a long time after you began dating her. Call this one for the best and move on. Sucks. But believe me, this was headed to Drama Town. It's always worth being honest about how you feel about someone. It sucks she doesn't feel the same way. But know that you're awesome. And this will only help you find someone that you're a better fit with faster, no more time wasted. Also, if you're meant to be friends, that will happen also. It's possible to reconnect again in future. Perhaps when she feels enough time has passed for feelings to be lost. The upside is she evidently has terrible music taste. Consider it a bullet dodged. Sorry mate. Sounds like you were the emotional fulfillment to her other relationships. Stop. Be happy for the good times. I was recently in this situation because of the pandemic, and it took a few months for me to come to the realization that myself and the other person needed each other for the short term. Even though we didn't know it. He and I live 4,000 miles apart. When the pandemic started, we were the emotional support systems for one another. We shared music and had 5-hour video calls and started to develop feelings for each other that we knew we couldn't really act on. He ended up finding a girlfriend in his country and we've drifted apart. It broke my heart because I really do love him as a human being, and I was crushed that he could push away and compartmentalize feelings so easily when I couldn't. That he was able to move on. But looking back, getting through quarantine, the beginning of the pandemic, and the uncertainty of where the world was headed would have been so much more difficult if I didn't have him to lean on. And I like to think that I was helpful for him as well. I made an amazing friend at the time and learned a lot about myself and what I want in life, and out of a friend and out of a partner. I am happy to have met him and gone through the swell of love built from a friendship, as well as the heartbreak. Because I grew. I hope you're able to look back on this someday with less sadness. Stay strong, man. This is pretty similar as to what happened to me within the last few months. I met someone online. They had a boyfriend. Told me things about their relationship. So I offered to help them get out of it. But then we became infatuated with each other. But they wanted to continue being with him. And just wanted to be just platonic friends. Eventually I accepted and was willing to just friends. But then another guy got involved, whom they liked, and the guy likes her. Our conversations became all about this new guy. I stopped engaging and talking to them. It hurt cause we didn't talk about anything else. I felt used. And I was used. Then eventually one night after a stream session, the next morning I was blocked. At that point I was already over the relationship and kind of saw it coming. But a week or so later they unblock me and apologize. They wanted to be friends and liked having me as a friend. Now, I'm at a point where I'm doing the same as before. Only chatting with them when they hit me up, but not actively going out of my way to talk to them. Should have blocked them. And wished them the best when they blocked me. That being said, it's best to move on and enjoy the time and opportunities you got to spend with them. Yeah, this is not really a TIFU. It's possible she knew she was hurting you and blocking you is the best way for you to move on. So it might not be necessarily tossing you into a bin, but more letting you feel the wind again and move on. How old are you up? That's rough, dude. Had something similar happen to me 3 years ago. I moved on and am better for it now. Head up, king. Or queen. Don't wanna assume. It gets better. Blocking you on stuff SMH, that's harsh. You did alright, op. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable in the future. Bro, you don't want her anyway. She's doing all that shit with you and being flirty while she has a boyfriend? You know she's gonna do the same thing to you if y'all got together. I'd say you dodged a bullet. Not a fuck up. Of course it doesn't feel that way right now cause you're feeling the loss. But I'm sure you'll soon realize what she was up to and see that it was for the better. Sorry this happened, dude. Keep your head up. I think sometimes PPL in relationships will find someone to lean on. Someone they feel like they can talk to about anything. They may or may not be romantically interested in that person. But essentially, they are having an emotional affair that may or may not lead to a physical one. You sound like a stand-up guy by not trying to break her existing relationship. You encouraged her to better understand her feelings. Seems odd to me she was open to you. But when her relationship was over and you opened up to her, she blocked you. Seems very selfish of her. And honestly, you deserve an explanation of why. I agree with the other posters though. She sounds like someone who is immature and you are definitely better off not being in a romantic relationship with her. At this time at least. But it sucks to lose a person you were close with. Hey brother. I went through the same process 3 times. Expecting a different outcome. The last experience is what opened me up to reality. So don't worry. Next time if you meet a great girl and she is single, go for it. If it goes well, you get to experience the blissful feeling of getting to love romantically with a person you readily vibe with. If it doesn't, move on. Don't be hard on yourself. Been through similar shit. Can be hard to see right now how it's in your best interest to not have her in your life anymore. Especially when things seemed so positive and, if just X, Y, Z had been a little different. If she had made this different choice. Eventually I met the right person for me. And you will too. Looking back, it makes more sense. Finding my wife was like hitting a winning lotto ticket. There's so many women out there that look attractive. Unless that would still seem cool after a first date. Unless that you can fall in love with you. Unless who are lifetime compatible with you. Etc. I don't believe in the one. But every relationship comes to an end at some point until you find the one where it doesn't. And I get that you weren't in a romantic relationship. But the way things went down doesn't make it hurt less. The hard part right now is going to be separating what happened from what you can control. From what you wrote, she seems like she sucks. She would have pulled some shit behind your back and found another you. In fact, I'm positive she's finding a new friend now if she hasn't already. And none of that has anything to do with you. It's not reflective of you. It's not a judgment of you. It says nothing about who you are as a person. Whether or not you're desirable. Whether or not you're smart, funny, attractive. From what you wrote, you sound like a great friend. Don't let her rob you of that. Sounds like you may need to learn to read red flags a little better to protect yourself. But we all have to learn those lessons. When someone comes along who appreciates you, you're gonna realize how lucky you were when this all went down. Best of luck. You got this. She was having an emotional affair with you. Chances are her BF found out, and part of them remaining together was for you to be cut out of the picture. You didn't do anything wrong, but it doesn't make it suck less for you. Appreciate that you know you're able to connect with people and move forward with you head held high. Dude, you were an emotional affair partner. She essentially cheated on her BF. And sounds flaky as fuck.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.